In our last video, I said this.
15 film crew, 5 techies, 4 support guys, 2 professional dancers, 9 musicians and a theatre book for 2 days. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, if there was ever a lesson, an example of
you can do it if you put your heart, soul and mind to it,
it was our first foray into music video production. Having spent months planning, recruiting, brainstorming ideas, we finally arrived at a theatre we had hired for 2 days to start filming. Our first challenge developed a few days before filming began. If you had watched our previous videos, you would know we had found these 2 talented university graduates to lead our film crew.
So can I introduce you to Tarek and to Heather?
It was intended that they would assemble a team of 10 to 15 students to help with the filming process. This included a third assistant director to ensure continuity between the scenes. We hoped to have 3 cameras operating, each with their own grips. We hoped to have 2 lighting technicians, also known as gaffers, to work with the theatre lighting technician. We also hoped to get a couple of students to film, to document behind the scenes of the shoot, including interviews and backstage footage, with a view of sharing that here on our YouTube channel. But what we hadn't considered was the timing of the filming in relation to the academic year. You see, all the third year students and master students hadn't at this point returned back for the new academic year. And all the new students, the freshmen, had only just arrived. So it turned out recruiting the size of team we had hoped for proved to be difficult. I think it was also fair to say that a few people had let Heather down, and I really did feel sorry for her. But we had what we had, and that wasn't going to stop us.
Yep. Scene 27A to 29A, shot 1, take 1.
So we were down to just 5 students and a theatre lighting technician. Now, Heather acted as second assistant director, Tarek as head of photography, Harrison as second photographer, and Damien, who was the only gaffer, was supported by Alex, who was a Sparky. Taylor, well, she was our theatre lighting technician. Sadly, this meant that much of the behind-the-scenes footage was reliant on just a few people who might have had a spare minute or so to pick up a camera. But I think we've got enough footage to still show you how we filmed the video and to give you a glimpse into the narrative, the story that the video is about. Our opening shot was of an empty theatre with just a ghost light buzzing and flickering on stage. Now, for those who might not know, when a theatre is dark, that is to say there is no production on, in essence it is empty, it is a tradition to put a single light on a stand on the stage. The tradition is for the light to be a guide to the ghosts of past performers. And that was the inspiration of our music video story. In essence, this theatre, this ghost light, was remembering a past performance. So as you can see, we attempted several takes of this shot, and for the final shot that made it onto the video, we used a dissolve fade to join 2 of the takes together. In post-production, we added the flickering and the sound effect. At the beginning of the song, there is just piano and vocals. We wanted to try and capture a pair of hands only playing the piano. Tarek tried many different angles and moved the lighting in order to get the shot. Again, in post-production, as you can see, we've applied a mass to try and make it more dreamlike.
Hard times is getting old.
The early part of the video is meant to depict a rehearsal, so everyone is in casual clothes. Annabelle is in her warm-up gear, and the lighting is a bit more subdued and a little desaturated. The intention was that as the song developed, another person involved in the performance appeared, whether that was Annabelle the dancer or one of the string quartet, Susan, and then Paul the drummer. One of those appearance shots was Keith on double bass. Now, Keith is our lyricist. He can play piano and guitar, but he wouldn't class himself as a bass player, especially not a double bass player. We were kindly lent this double bass by All Saints Schools in Sheffield, and Keith had had it for about 2 weeks in order to practice, so he could look convincing in the video. He took this challenge very seriously and practiced very hard, but in order to help him with the fingering position, he stuck some tape on the side of the bass. Unfortunately, he forgot that we would be doing some close-up shots. Thankfully, it was spotted, angles were changed, and we got the shot pretty much take-free.
Yep. Scene 27A to 29A. Shot 1, take 1.
In this shot, we wanted a close-up of the violin, tracking back and revealing Vernon singing. As with all the scenes, we shot this many times. Claire, our director, was watching on a monitor to ensure that we got the shot required. And this is what we ended up with.
She feels the world is getting smaller day by day, so she confines his mind to speed.
Paul, our sound guy, he was tucked away side of stage for the full 2 days. He was controlling the foldback for us to play along in time with. We'd provided him with recordings which he dropped into a software program called Wavelab so that he could program in the playback points. And basically he sat there waiting for the word
action.
It was a revelation to me how important the lighting was, but more specifically the positioning of the lighting. I knew that attention needed to be made to lighting, but as you can see from these various clips, there is much experimentation required in order to get the lighting just right. This scene probably took about 30 to 45 minutes to shoot, but only appears for just 2 seconds in the video.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Alright, camera.
Rolling.
Set. Okay, so Hard Times, scene 1, take 1.
The arrangement of the song develops verse by verse. Initially just piano and vocals, then bass and strings come in, then the drums, guitars, and finally sax. As we get towards verse 4, the song is in full arrangement, and we wanted to transition the video accordingly. So in the final music video, you will see how we achieve that transition from the rehearsal look to the full performance look. For the full performance section, we needed an audience, so we got Rent-A-Crowd. Basically any friends, family and colleagues we could cajole and bribe to come along and spend an evening watching and interacting with the filming of these scenes. Here, Claire is explaining to the audience what is about to be filmed.
They were all in rehearsal wear, jeans, different tops and everything earlier. So it's gone round, they were all in rehearsal wear, it's picked up an empty theatre, goes back round, up to the back, then it sweeps back into the back of Vern in his rehearsal wear. The first shot we're going to do now is where it pulls out of the back of Vern and it picks you as an audience up. Now Vern is going to be stood like this, and his little suit he's got on, he was in a black top earlier. And what we want for you, your part of this, is to be, it's like, imagine he's your most favourite singer. So looking at you, that will be different for everybody, you know, the audience out there. You can all pick a name of whoever it is. So the idea is, as it pans away from the back of Vern and we see you, it's like that, oh yes, he's on. We need there was a shot of a cheering audience. And that's what we need, that's the first shot of you will be. Because it will pan away and then it moves round so that you'll still be in a shot for a little bit and then it pulls back to see these all now in their outfits. And let's see how good they are.
Now, depending on when you were watching this video, it was uploaded at the end of October 2023. The music video is not released as yet, as we are hoping to launch both our EP and this music video at the same time. And as of recording, we still have some work to do. We have to master the EP, we've got to get the artwork for the CD done, we've got to find a publisher, and then we've got to upload to all the streaming services. So at best, we're perhaps talking mid-December, maybe even the new year. However, go check out our music channel, Maybe Never. I'll leave a link in the description below. Subscribe and hit the notification bell on that channel so you can be one of the first to see the completed video when it is uploaded. Also, if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button for this channel. It really does help us out. You will see that the performers have now changed into costume. The string quartet is dressed in black, the band have changed to nicer clothes, Annabelle is looking lovely in a sparkly dress, and Vern is looking cool in a blue suit. Taylor has also increased the colour in the lighting to replicate that of a real gig, but with the need to maintain a certain lighting level for filming purposes.
Rolling.
Set.
Cut.
And action.
We were fortunate that the theatre had this balcony, and we thought it would be fitting if, while Annabelle was dancing to the sax solo, Nigel could be in the balcony looking down. Unfortunately, the haze machine wasn't getting the haze this far, so we needed to add a bit of filtering post-production. In this clip, I'm not sure we've got that quite right, and this brings up the challenge of post-production colour grading, and I think we're going to require someone to help us to get this right before publishing the video. During the long pauses between takes, we took time for some questions and answers. Here, Keith is explaining a little how the song was written.
Right. After we moved from Paul's flat to rehearsing, we rehearsed in the living room in my little house in Nether Edge. That drum kit used to sit permanently, well, not quite as many parts of it, in the bay window. And then one night Rob came round and he said, I've got an idea for a song. And he played these chords.
Musical genius, isn't it?
And he said, have you got any ideas to do with that? And I just happened to have a set of words. And that's how this song was born. So, if any of you have got little bits of piano music and you've got a friend who sings and writes words, you should try it, because 40 years later you might be in here making a video for your first single. But yeah, it was always good, straight away. And then sometimes you get the first line and the rest just follows. So there we are. A little story to fill the gap.
For more detail, you could check this video out. Links are in the description below.